Kevin, could you help demystify microlearning in this AI era?
When we talk about AI and we talk about microlearning, a lot of people think they know what microlearning is, and it's there's no great mystery around microlearning. It's all in the name. These are pieces of focused information, less than 10 minutes to address specific learning objectives. Very quick. They could be videos, they could be courses, they could be PDFs, whatever it might be. Either way, they're very short, they're very specific, and they're very focused. And the reason that these are so important, especially nowadays with the newer generations of employees, is that because they're used to having short bursts of information being given to them. And what it does nowadays is it improves long-term memory by 20 to 30%, improves engagement because now I can get in and I can get out. And while I'm in there, I'm super engaged with that piece of content.
I think actually AI is solving a huge problem that we've had when it comes to the leadership skills, right? Because all the methodologies, other than getting everybody in a room and we're even virtual, right? And doing learning that way for, the in-person for leadership skills, the problem was always the practice, right? Because you had, here, you two who are on the learning curve together, go role play with one another and give each other feedback, right? Two novices giving each other feedback. And then it was always hard to get true expertise in the room to provide sort of master level feedback to the novice. So I think AI kind of solves the practice problem.
I'm curious about what's your take on companies who are building specific tools versus just like vendors, right? Like partners of corporations versus corporations.
I think ultimately it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Because remember, these vendors, ELB inclusive, we're doing this on a daily basis. We're learning from hundreds of other customers, thousands of other customers on what they're looking for. So we can build it. We have the tools, we have the people that are doing it on a daily basis that are dedicated to that. If it's just a simple tool, simple learning, something like that, by all means, I think organizations can do that on their own. But it really depends on what kind of level of money you want to invest, the people you have internally that can build it. Do they have the wherewithal to build what you're looking for? And thinking about if something changes in the next 6 months, will this be obsolete? All the money I just put out there.
I can almost put an AI agent to work to actually build microlearning, and then I don't need the microlearning market anymore. I could just do it myself. So I'm just kind of curious if that's anything that's coming in to influence or impact how you're looking at microlearning overall.
And I think where ELB stands is that we don't necessarily build microlearning for our organizations, for our customers. We give them the tools to do it themselves. And so I would say that that's very similar to if you're using an AI agent. We're providing tools with ChatGPT built into it. We're putting gamification games with AI built into it so you can create your own questions, trivia questions, whatever it might be. So I think in our particular case, the idea is, yeah, I think companies that do their own micro learning and try to sell it to organizations, they might be at a point where maybe it's so niche that they can do it themselves and it still works. But for leadership, for Excel, for things like that, I think those companies are going to be in trouble. But giving you guys the tools to build it yourself, that's where we stand.